Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly, while others struggle all their lives no matter how hard they work? What if I told you the difference isn't luck, education, or connections, but habits? Today, you're about to discover 5 life-changing habits of the world's wealthiest habits that can transform your life, your mindset, and your fortune. Starting right now, the foundation of all wealth, power, and success begins not with money, resources, or connections, but with the mind. Your mental state is the soil in which the seeds of your financial future are planted. If you plant seeds in barren soil, no matter how much effort or water you give them, they will fail to grow. Likewise, if your mind is full of scarcity, doubt, fear, and limitation, no amount of opportunity or effort will bear the fruit of prosperity. Abundance begins with a mental orientation, a way of seeing, thinking, and expecting the universe to provide. The wealthiest people in the world are not inherently luckier, smarter, or better connected than others. What sets them apart is their habitual thought patterns, their unshakable expectation that opportunities, resources, and wealth are available to them, and their ability to align their thoughts with that expectation. Thinking in abundance means consistently recognizing that there is enough not just for you, but for everyone. It is the understanding that one person's success does not diminish your potential for greatness. Scarcity, on the other hand, is a mindset of limitation, where the mind believes there is a finite amount of money, resources, or opportunity. Those who live in scarcity fear that someone else's gain is their loss, and this fear manifests as hesitation, missed opportunities, and self-sabotaging behavior. To adopt an abundance mindset, you must first become acutely aware of your thoughts. The average person allows negative patterns to run unchecked, repeating internal narratives like, "I'll never have enough," "I'm not smart enough," or "money is always scarce." Each of these statements is a seed of limitation. When repeated over time, they shape your perception of the world and the way you act within it. In contrast, the mind of the wealthy focuses on opportunity, creation, and growth. They constantly ask themselves, how can I create more value? What opportunities exist that I have not yet explored? How can I use what I have to generate more abundance? The difference is subtle but profound. One mindset locks the individual in fear and limitation. The other opens the door to endless possibility. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools to cultivate abundance thinking. Wealthy individuals routinely see themselves succeeding not as an act of daydreaming, but as a rehearsal for reality. The mind cannot distinguish between vivid, emotionally charged visualization and actual experience. When you repeatedly imagine yourself achieving your goals, handling resources wisely, and living a life of financial freedom, you are creating neural pathways in your brain that guide your thoughts, decisions, and actions toward those outcomes. Your mental rehearsal trains your mind to recognize opportunities you might have otherwise overlooked. It also strengthens your confidence, reduces doubt, and instills a sense of inevitability about your success. Affirmations too play a crucial role. Positive affirmations are statements that reinforce the belief in abundance and your right to prosperity. They might include statements like, I am open to limitless wealth and opportunities. Money flows to me effortlessly and continuously, or I create value and receive abundant rewards. Repetition of these affirmations rewires your subconscious mind, gradually replacing scarcity-based beliefs with abundance-based beliefs. The wealthiest people do not merely hope for wealth. They command it in their thoughts first, aligning their inner world with the reality they intend to create. Another key aspect of thinking in abundance is gratitude. Gratitude shifts the focus from what is lacking to what is present and available. It fosters a mindset that recognizes the value of what you have and paradoxically attracts. When you feel genuinely thankful for the resources, relationships, and opportunities in your life, you signal to your subconscious that there is enough, that life is generous, and that you are capable of receiving more. In contrast, those who dwell on oxy often become bitter, anxious, or envious, which blocks the flow of opportunity and financial growth. Abundance thinking also requires reframing challenges and setbacks. The wealthy understand that obstacles are not signs of limitation, but lessons and opportunities in disguise. A missed opportunity, a failed investment, or a financial setback is never a reflection of scarcity in the world, but a prompt to learn, adapt, and innovate. Scarcity thinkers often view setbacks as evidence that there is not enough, reinforcing their fear and inaction. Abundance thinkers, by contrast, see each challenge as a stepping stone to greater knowledge, skill, and eventual success. This perspective allows them to remain resilient, proactive, and creative even in the face of adversity. Surrounding yourself with abundance-minded people is also critical. Your environment, both physical and social, shapes your thinking. When you spend time with individuals who focus on opportunities, growth, and creation, their mindset rubs off on you. Conversely, persistent exposure to scarcity-minded thinking, whether through peers, media, or self-talk, reinforces limitation. Wealthy people carefully curate their environment to support their abundance-oriented thoughts, ensuring that their surroundings reflect the values and expectations they wish to embody. Thinking in abundance requires action that aligns with your beliefs. Thoughts alone are not sufficient. They must be matched with decisions, behaviors, and strategies that reflect abundance. This means taking calculated risks, investing in yourself, creating value for others, and stepping into opportunities without fear. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all aligned with abundance, wealth is no longer something distant or external. It becomes a natural extension of your inner state. The journey to wealth begins not with a business plan, a high-paying job, or a lucky break, but habit 1: think abundantly, not scarce with the way you think. An abundance mindset is the invisible foundation upon which all success is built. It shapes your perception, informs your decisions, attracts opportunities, and aligns you with the natural flow of prosperity by cultivating thoughts of plenty. Practicing visualization and affirmations, expressing gratitude, embracing challenges, surrounding yourself with positive influences, and taking aligned action, you prepare your mind to receive, create, and multiply wealth in every area of your life. True prosperity begins with the belief that there is more than enough to go around, and that you are fully capable of claiming your share. Every experience you have, every circumstance that shapes your life begins first as a thought. Your mind is a magnet, constantly sending out energy that attracts experiences, people, and circumstances that match the nature of your thinking. The world you live in is in large measure a reflection of your internal landscape. Wealthy people understand this principle intuitively even if they do not articulate it in these words. They know that focusing on problems, limitations, or fear only draws more of the same into their lives. In contrast, when the mind is trained to focus on opportunities, growth, and solutions, the universe aligns to deliver resources, relationships, and possibilities that support that vision. Every thought you harbor is like a seed. If it is a seed of fear, doubt, or limitation, it will produce experiences that mirror scarcity and struggle. If it is a seed of hope, creativity, and possibility, it will produce a harvest of abundance, success, and expansion. To fully grasp this principle, one must first recognize the power of attention. What you give your attention to grows when you constantly dwell on what you lack: money, connections, time, or talent. You are giving energy to the very conditions you wish to change. Scarcity thinking is essentially a form of mental fixation on absence. It is as though you are constantly staring at an empty well, wishing it would fill while ignoring the streams of opportunity flowing around you. Conversely, those who focus on opportunities train their minds to notice possibilities that others miss. They see solutions where others see only problems, openings where others see closed doors, and resources where others see scarcity. The act of focusing attention on opportunities is a creative act signaling to the subconscious mind and ultimately to the external world that you are ready to act, receive, and create. The wealthy understand the importance of controlling the internal dialogue. Thoughts are not fleeting. They are messages that shape behavior, emotions, and decisions. A thought like, "I can't do this, it's too risky," triggers hesitation, avoidance, and missed opportunities. A thought like, "How can I turn this challenge into an opportunity?" triggers creativity, courage, and action. In essence, the mind becomes the architect of destiny, designing the life you will experience through the quality of the thoughts it entertains. Repetition reinforces belief. Every time you entertain a limitation-focused thought, it becomes stronger, more ingrained, and more likely to influence your actions. Every time you entertain an opportunity-focused thought, you strengthen your ability to act, innovate, and recognize possibilities. Visualization is an essential tool for focusing on opportunities. When you vividly imagine yourself achieving a goal, overcoming obstacles, or creating something of value, you are training your brain to recognize paths to that outcome. Visualization creates a mental map that guides your decisions and actions. The wealthy often practice visualization daily, not as a form of idle daydreaming, but as a deliberate rehearsal of success. The more detailed and emotionally charged your mental images are, the stronger the signal you send to your subconscious. Your subconscious begins to align with the expectation that these opportunities already exist, and your conscious mind begins to notice ways to make them tangible. Language and self-talk are equally powerful. The words you speak, both aloud and internally, reinforce the mental pictures you create. Language shapes thought. When you constantly say, "There's no way I can succeed," or "I'll never have enough," you are building mental barriers that limit your potential. Wealthy individuals carefully curate their language using phrases that inspire creativity, confidence, and forward motion. Words like, "I can find a way," "This challenge has a solution," and "opportunities are everywhere" create a fertile mental environment for wealth and abundance to manifested. Thinking also requires a shift in perspective toward challenges. Life is full of obstacles, setbacks, and failures. And the way you interpret these events determines whether they expand or restrict your reality. Those who dwell on problems see every challenge as proof that life is against them. Those who focus on opportunities see every challenge as a stepping stone, a lesson, and a chance to innovate. A missed promotion, a failed investment, or an unexpected setback is not a judgment on your worth or ability. It is information. Opportunity-focused thinkers use this information to adjust their approach, refine their strategy, and move forward with greater clarity and determination. Taking control of thought patterns also involves mindfulness. Most people operate on autopilot, reacting to external events, rather than consciously shaping their responses. When you cultivate awareness of your thoughts, you gain the power to intervene, redirect, and reshape them. This is a crucial skill for creating a reality aligned with opportunity. By noticing when your mind slips into fear, doubt, or scarcity thinking, and deliberately choosing to replace those thoughts with opportunity-focused alternatives, you begin to reprogram your internal environment. Over time, this conscious practice becomes automatic, creating a habit of seeing the world through the lens of possibility. Another aspect of focusing on opportunities is gratitude. Gratitude shifts the mind from scarcity to abundance. When you appreciate what you have, you reinforce the idea that life is generous, resources are available, and your ability to receive more is limitless. The wealthy often start their days with reflection and acknowledgement of the good already present in their lives. This simple practice primes the mind to notice additional opportunities, attracting them naturally through the energy of appreciation. Scarcity thinkers, in contrast, focus on what they lack, creating a feedback loop that perpetuates limitation. Surrounding yourself with opportunity-focused individuals is also essential. The company you keep influences your thinking, energy, and decisions. Those who are constantly focused on problems, complaints, or fear tend to reinforce scarcity thinking in those around them. Conversely, those who consistently see potential solutions and growth opportunities elevate the thinking of everyone in their sphere. The wealthy carefully curate their environment to ensure that their thoughts are reinforced by others who share the same focus on possibilities, innovation, and action. Focusing on opportunities demands action. Thoughts alone are not enough. They must be matched by behavior. Opportunity-focused thinking encourages initiative, experimentation, and courage. It pushes you to reach out, invest, and act even when the outcome is uncertain. Each step taken with the mindset of possibility attracts new information, contacts, and resources, gradually building a reality that mirrors the vision held in your mind. Wealth is rarely a product of passive hope. It is the inevitable result of opportunity, focused thoughts aligned with decisive, persistent action. In essence, your reality is a mirror of your dominant thoughts. The wealthiest individuals in the world have mastered the art of directing their minds toward opportunities rather than limitations. They understand that external circumstances are shaped by internal focus. By consciously training your thoughts to see potential, adopt solutions, maintain positive language, embrace challenges as lessons, practice gratitude, and take deliberate action, you create a life where opportunities multiply, doors open, and wealth flows naturally. Scarcity thinking narrows your world. Opportunity thinking expands it. The difference between those who struggle and those who thrive is not the circumstances they face. It is the focus of their mind. When you learn to focus on opportunities instead of limitations, you activate the creative power within you, and your life begins to unfold in alignment with the possibilities you envision. The mind cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is experienced in reality. This principle is one of the most profound secrets of the world's wealthiest individuals. They consistently see, feel, and believe in the outcome they desire, as if it has already occurred. Visualization is not a simple daydream or idle wish. It is an intentional, deliberate act of training your mind to recognize, attract, and manifest the life you want. When you visualize your success with clarity and emotion, you are programming your subconscious mind to guide your decisions, perceptions, and behaviors in alignment with that vision. The subconscious, which controls the vast majority of our actions and responses, operates based on the mental pictures it receives. If those pictures are of failure, lack, or limitation, it produces thoughts, habits, and circumstances that If those pictures are of achievement, abundance, and fulfillment, it orchestrates your life to bring those images into reality. The act of visualization is therefore not merely wishful thinking. It is a creative act, a form of mental rehearsal that bridges imagination and tangible reality. Visualization works because the brain processes imagined experiences much like real ones. Neuroplasticity research has shown that vividly imagining an action strengthens the neural pathways associated with performing that action. When you repeatedly see yourself achieving your goals, your mind begins to recognize the steps, strategies, and opportunities that will make those goals possible. The wealthy intuitively apply this principle, mentally rehearsing their success before it appears in their lives. They do not leave their outcomes to chance. They see them, feel them, and interact with them in their minds first. This mental rehearsal instills confidence, reduces hesitation, and increases the likelihood of decisive, opportunity-focused action. Emotion is the fuel that amplifies the power of visualization. Simply picturing an image without feeling it is insufficient. Wealthy individuals engage all their senses and emotions in the process. They see the details of their success, hear the sounds associated with it, feel the emotions of achievement, and even imagine the tastes, textures, and environments of their desired reality. The combination of clarity and emotion sends a strong signal to the subconscious mind, creating a magnetic force that draws external circumstances into alignment. Thoughts without feeling are like seeds without water. They rarely grow. When visualization is accompanied by deep, authentic emotion, it becomes a powerful mechanism for transformation. Consistency is critical. Visualization is not a one-time exercise or a fleeting indulgence. It must be practiced daily, repeatedly, and with unwavering belief. Wealthy individuals often dedicate specific times each day to this practice, whether in the morning, before sleep, or during quiet reflection periods. Over time, these repeated mental experiences replace old patterns of doubt, fear, and limitation and rewire the mind for success. The subconscious begins to recognize the repeated images as reality, prompting behaviors, opportunities, and decisions that make the vision tangible. This is the process through which dreams transform into reality: repetition, emotional intensity, and unwavering belief. Visualization is also a tool for overcoming obstacles and setbacks. The wealthy do not visualize only the desired outcomes. They also mentally rehearse navigating challenges with grace and resourcefulness. By seeing themselves overcoming obstacles, they train their mind to respond creatively and confidently under pressure. This mental rehearsal creates a state of preparedness so that when difficulties arise, they are met not with panic or fear but with clarity, strategy, and determination. Scarcity-minded individuals often visualize failure, worry, or loss, and their subconscious responds accordingly, creating patterns of hesitation, indecision, and inaction. Opportunity-focused visualization, on the other hand, prepares the mind to act decisively and attract solution. Another dimension of visualization is the alignment of personal values and purpose with the desired outcome. The wealthiest people do not merely visualize money or status. They visualize the life they want to lead, the impact they want to make, and the legacy they wish to leave. By connecting their mental images with a deeper sense of purpose, their visualization becomes a source of intrinsic motivation and energy. This alignment magnifies the magnetic power of visualization because it engages not just desire, but deep, meaningful intention. When your goals are connected to your authentic self and higher purpose, every thought, action, and opportunity gravitates naturally toward fulfilling that vision. Visualization also interacts with belief systems. Habit 2. The power of daily belief systems. Wealthy individuals have cultivated beliefs that success, prosperity, and abundance are not only possible, but inevitable for them. These beliefs are reinforced by mental images of achievement. If you do not believe in the possibility of your vision, visualization loses its power. Therefore, cultivating faith in your own potential, in the abundance of the world, and in your ability to navigate challenges is essential. The images you create in your mind must be believable, attainable, and imbued with certainty. When belief and visualization work together, they form an unshakable foundation for action and success. The richness of detail is vital. Wealthy individuals do not merely imagine vague outcomes. They construct intricate multi-sensory experiences in their mind. They visualize not just the financial goal, but the specific steps, environments, people, and actions associated with it. For example, they might picture themselves negotiating a successful business deal, feeling the confidence in their voice, observing the expressions of others, and sensing the satisfaction of closing the agreement. This level of detail bridges imagination and reality, making the desired outcome more tangible and actionable. Gratitude enhances the effectiveness of visualization. By feeling grateful for the success you are imagining, even before it manifests externally, you amplify the emotional resonance of the mental image. Gratitude shifts the focus from lack to abundance, creating a receptive state in the subconscious mind. Wealthy individuals often combine visualization with gratitude exercises, acknowledging the good already present while imagining the good yet to come. This combination creates a powerful magnet for opportunities, resources, and favorable circumstances. Visualization also serves as a compass for action. The more clearly you see your desired outcome, the more easily your mind identifies the steps necessary to achieve it. The subconscious mind constantly scans for information, connections, and solutions that align with the mental images you have created. When your vision is detailed, emotionally charged, and consistently practiced, your mind becomes attuned to recognizing opportunities that might otherwise go unnoticed. Wealthy individuals often report that ideas, insights, and synchronicities appear seemingly out of nowhere. But these are not random. They are the natural alignment of thought, belief, and attention. Visualization is about embodying success in the present moment. It is not merely imagining a distant future. It is living, thinking, and feeling as though the success you desire is already yours. This creates a sense of inevitability in confidence that shapes behavior, decisions, and interactions. When you carry yourself with the mindset of someone who has already achieved your goals, you attract people, resources, and circumstances that resonate with that energy. The law of attraction is not a mysterious force. It is the natural consequence of alignment between thought, emotion, belief, and action. The words you speak, whether internally to yourself or externally to others, are far more powerful than most people realize. Language is not merely a tool for communication. It is a creative force that shapes your thoughts, beliefs, and ultimately your reality. Every word you choose carries energy and intention, influencing not only your own mindset, but also the responses you elicit from the world around you. The wealthiest individuals understand this principle deeply. They recognize that the inner dialogue, the mental narratives, and the phrases they utter shape the world they experience. Negative, limiting, or fearful language creates mental and emotional patterns that restrict opportunities, undermine confidence, and attract scarcity. Positive, confident, and abundance-oriented language, on the other hand, generates energy, clarity, and momentum that naturally draws success, resources, and opportunity toward you. The practice of speaking as if success is inevitable is not arrogance or wishful thinking. It is a deliberate act of aligning your inner world with the outer reality you intend to create. Self-talk is the invisible script that guides your behavior. Most people operate on autopilot, repeating internal narratives that were unconsciously formed over years of experiences, conditioning, and societal messages. Phrases such as, "I can't, it's too hard," or "I'll never make it," may seem harmless, but they reinforce limitation and fear. The subconscious mind interprets these statements as instructions and acts accordingly, influencing decisions, actions, and even perception. Conversely, affirming statements like, "I am capable of creating wealth," "Opportunities flow to me effortlessly," or "I handle every challenge with clarity and confidence," reprogram the subconscious to anticipate success and seek pathways that align with these beliefs. The wealthiest individuals meticulously curate their internal dialogue to ensure it supports their highest ambitions. Words spoken aloud carry even greater power because they bridge thought with external reality. When you articulate your intentions clearly and positively, you are broadcasting a signal to the world and to yourself. Others respond to the confidence and clarity in your speech, often offering opportunities, resources, and support in response to the energy you project. Speaking as if success is inevitable creates an aura of credibility, magnetism, and authority. The wealthiest individuals understand that language is not simply a reflection of their reality. It is a tool for shaping it. Their words are precise, purposeful, and aligned with the vision they hold for their lives. Affirmations or positive verbal statements, repeated consistently, are a key technique for shaping self-talk. The wealthiest people do not merely hope or wish. They affirm daily what they intend to create. Affirmations work because repetition implants ideas into the subconscious mind, which then begins to guide conscious thought and behavior toward the desired outcome. For example, repeating statements such as, "I am a magnet for wealth and abundance," or "I consistently make decisions that create prosperity," trains the subconscious to recognize and seize opportunities that align with those statements. This practice transforms language from idle words into actionable mental programming that influences every aspect of life. The richness of language is also essential. Precision and specificity matter. The wealthy do not merely say, "I want more money." They articulate clear intentions such as, "I attract profitable opportunities that allow me to earn X per month," or "I provide value that generates consistent abundant income." The clarity of language creates clarity of thought, which in turn produces clarity of action. Vague statements produce vague results. Detailed, intentional, and confident language communicates to the subconscious mind exactly what you desire, and it begins to align circumstances and decisions with that vision. Self-talk also determines emotional response. Words influence feelings and feelings influence actions. When you constantly tell yourself, "I am not ready," or "I am not capable," you generate emotions of fear, hesitation, and inadequacy, which in turn prevent decisive action. Conversely, telling yourself, "I am fully prepared to succeed," or "I am capable of navigating any challenge," produces feelings of confidence, clarity, and empowerment, which naturally guide you toward productive, opportunity-oriented behavior. Language becomes the bridge between thought and emotion, guiding the trajectory of your life in subtle but profound ways. Another dimension of this principle is the elimination of negative comparisons and self-criticism. Scarcity-minded individuals often engage in language that compares themselves to others or undermines their abilities. "I'll never be as successful as them," or "I'm not talented enough to achieve that." These phrases reinforce limitation and block progress. Wealthy people, however, focus on their own capabilities, potential, and unique contributions. They affirm their strengths, visualize their success, and maintain a language pattern that reinforces growth, opportunity, and abundance. The words they choose build a sense of self, worth, and capability that naturally translates into action and result. Gratitude and recognition are also integral to self-talk. By verbally acknowledging the good already present in your life, you reinforce a mindset of abundance. Statements like, "I am grateful for the opportunities I have," or "I appreciate the resources and support available to me," cultivate a mental environment that attracts more of the same. The wealthiest people combine language with gratitude, ensuring that their communication and thought patterns are aligned with both abundance and appreciation, creating a powerful feedback loop that reinforces prosperity. Language also shapes the narrative you communicate to others. The wealthy understand that the energy conveyed through words affects relationships, influence, and opportunities. Clear, confident, and purpose-driven language creates trust, attracts collaborators, and opens doors that would remain closed to those who speak with doubt or negativity. Speaking as if success is inevitable is not arrogance. It is a demonstration of alignment with your vision, and it signals to others that you are capable, reliable, and worth investing in. The world responds to energy more than it does to credentials, and your language is the primary vehicle for conveying that energy. Consistency is critical in shaping wealth through self-talk. It is not enough to speak positively or affirm success. Occasionally, daily conscious reinforcement of intentional language is required to reprogram old limiting patterns and strengthen new empowering ones. The wealthiest individuals make this a ritual, a morning affirmation, a midday reflection, and an evening reinforcement of the success they intend to achieve. This repetition solidifies new neural pathways, creating a default pattern of opportunity, focused thinking, and confident, abundance-oriented speech. The integration of language, thought, and action is essential. Speaking as if success is inevitable must be accompanied by action aligned with the vision expressed through your words. Language sets the mental stage, belief reinforces it, and action brings it into reality. The wealthiest people ensure that their speech, thoughts, and behavior are in harmony, creating a powerful resonance that manifests opportunities, wealth, and influence. When your words reflect certainty, your thoughts reinforce possibility, and your actions align with intention, success becomes not a distant goal, but a natural, inevitable outcome of the energy you project into the world. Wealth is not merely a matter of accumulation. It is a reflection of flow. The world operates on a principle of circulation. Energy moves where attention, intention, and action direct it. The wealthiest individuals understand that money, resources, and opportunities are not meant to be hoarded or withheld. True abundance is a state of dynamic exchange, and those who cultivate gratitude and generosity experience a multiplication of prosperity that those focused solely on accumulation rarely achieve. Gratitude and giving are not acts of charity alone. They are powerful laws of attraction, spiritual principles, and psychological practices that create fertile conditions for wealth to grow. Gratitude tunes the mind to recognize abundance, while generosity activates the natural circulation of energy, creating a magnet for more wealth, more opportunities, and deeper fulfillment. Gratitude is the foundation of this principle. When you focus on what you already have, you shift your mind from scarcity to abundance. Scarcity is rooted in the perception that there is not enough, that opportunities are limited, and that wealth is hard to come by. Those who dwell in scarcity see life as a struggle, constantly striving to fill a deficit that only grows larger with worry and dissatisfaction. In contrast, gratitude rewires perception. By intentionally acknowledging the resources, relationships, and opportunities already present in your life, you generate a mental state of sufficiency and appreciation. This state of mind is magnetic. It aligns your consciousness with the flow of opportunities, and your actions naturally reflect the confidence, optimism, and creativity that attract more abundance. Wealthy individuals often begin their days with gratitude practices, listing all that they appreciate and visualizing how those blessings expand. This practice does not merely elevate mood, it reshapes neural pathways, preparing the mind to recognize and receive more wealth. Generosity is the active counterpart to gratitude. While gratitude shifts perception internally, generosity acts externally, sending energy into the world in the form of resources, time, skills, or influence. The wealthiest people understand that giving does not diminish wealth, it multiplies it. This principle is rooted in the law of circulation. Whatever flows out returns amplified. When you give sincerely and wisely, you create openings for new opportunities to flow back to you. This does not mean indiscriminate giving without thought or intention, but rather strategic generosity, investing in people, causes, and actions that reflect your values and create positive impact. The act of giving signals to your subconscious and the universe that you are aligned with abundance, not scarcity. Generosity also transforms your relationship with wealth. When money, resources, or opportunities are viewed as tools to create impact, rather than merely possessions to be hoarded, they take on a new vibrancy. The wealthy recognize that wealth is not an endpoint. It is a vehicle for influence, service, and creation. By giving generously, they cultivate networks, goodwill, and influence that provide returns beyond what money alone can achieve. The energy of generosity multiplies tangible results and attracts intangible benefits such as trust, collaboration, and reputation, which are invaluable in creating lasting wealth. The combination of gratitude and generosity also fosters a psychological state of abundance that reduces fear and hesitation. Scarcity-minded individuals often hoard resources, delay action, or avoid risk because they fear loss. In contrast, those who practice gratitude and giving understand that life is inherently abundant, that wealth circulates, and that there is always enough to sustain them while providing for others. This mindset encourages bold action, innovative thinking, and calculated risk, taking qualities that are consistently present in the behaviors of the world's wealthiest. Generosity can take many forms beyond financial contributions. Time, knowledge, mentorship, and attention are equally valuable. Sharing expertise with others, supporting colleagues or friends, and contributing to causes that resonate with your values are all acts of abundance that create a ripple effect of opportunities. The wealthy recognize that when you invest in others, you simultaneously invest in yourself. The energy you put out returns multiplied, often in unexpected ways. A simple act, habit 3, taking consistent action of guidance, connection, or encouragement can open doors that no amount of effort or strategy alone could achieve. The practice of gratitude enhances generosity by fostering an awareness of interconnectedness. When you see the abundance in your life, you naturally feel compelled to share. Gratitude creates humility and perspective, reminding you that the resources you have are not solely the product of your own efforts. They are also the result of circumstances, opportunities, and support from others. This awareness inspires giving and in turn creates a feedback loop where generosity begets more generosity and abundance attracts further abundance. Wealth is never stagnant. It is a flow, and those who participate consciously in that flow experience growth and fulfillment far beyond material accumulation. Wealthy individuals also understand that giving without expectation amplifies the effect. When generosity is practiced with the sole purpose of receiving recognition or return, it loses its magnetic power. Sincere giving aligned with values and without attachment to outcomes activates the law of circulation. The universe responds to authentic energy, not strategic manipulation. Those who give freely without strings often find that opportunities, connections, and resources return in multiples, sometimes in ways that exceed the original intent or imagination. This principle reinforces the idea that prosperity is not a zero-sum game. It is a dynamic system where energy flows in cycles, expanding as it moves. Gratitude and generosity also cultivate resilience. Life is full of unpredictability, setbacks, and challenges. By maintaining a mindset of gratitude, you focus on what is present and available rather than what is lost or lacking. By practicing generosity, you maintain connection, purpose, and influence even in difficult circumstances. These practices strengthen emotional intelligence, adaptability, and resourcefulness, qualities essential for sustaining long-term wealth. Those who operate solely from scarcity often react with fear, stress, and rigidity when challenges arise, limiting their ability to innovate or recover. abundance-minded individuals navigate difficulties with poise, creativity, and optimism, attracting solutions and opportunities even in adversity. Visualization combined with gratitude and generosity further magnifies results. Wealthy individuals often imagine themselves succeeding while feeling grateful for the present and planning ways to contribute meaningfully to others. This practice aligns thought, emotion, and action, creating a state of energetic resonance that attracts wealth, opportunity, and collaboration. The interplay of these elements, mental focus, emotional alignment, and outward action creates a powerful cycle where success begets success and abundance perpetuates itself. Gratitude and generosity are not merely moral virtues. They are strategic wealth-building practices. They align the mind with abundance, attract opportunities, build influence, foster resilience, and create networks of support and collaboration. The wealthiest individuals understand that giving and receiving are not separate activities. They are part of the same flow of prosperity. By cultivating a mindset of gratitude and practicing intentional generosity, you position yourself to participate fully in the circulation of wealth, ensuring that resources, opportunities, and success continue to grow, multiply, and return to you in ways that far exceed initial contributions. Success is rarely the result of a single dramatic effort. Most people assume that to achieve wealth, they must make one bold move, find a sudden windfall, or execute an extraordinary plan perfectly. The reality, however, is far simpler and far more powerful. Lasting wealth is the product of consistent daily actions aligned with your goals and values. The world's wealthiest individuals understand that it is not the occasional burst of effort that creates results, but the steady, disciplined application of small steps over time. Each action, no matter how small, compounds and multiplies, shaping habits, momentum, and outcomes in ways that appear almost miraculous when viewed over months and years. Consistency is the invisible force that turns intention into reality, dreams into achievements, and ordinary individuals into extraordinary creators of wealth. The principle of compounding is central to this concept. Just as small deposits in a bank account grow exponentially over time, repeated actions, when aligned with purpose, generate results that far exceed the sum of their individual parts. Each effort reinforces the next, building confidence, skill, and momentum. The wealthy understand this intuitively. They do not rely on sudden inspiration or one-time efforts, but on a disciplined routine of small, meaningful steps. These actions accumulate in the background, often unseen, yet ultimately produce outcomes that transform their lives. By comparison, those who rely solely on intensity or sporadic bursts of effort often experience burnout, inconsistency, and frustration, seeing little long-term progress despite frequent exertion. Consistency creates trust both internally and externally. Internally, when you consistently act toward your goals, you develop self-trust. You prove to yourself that you can follow through, that your intentions are reliable, and that you are capable of persistence. This internal trust strengthens confidence, reduces doubt, and fosters resilience. Externally, consistent action builds credibility and reputation. People notice reliability, dedication, and professionalism. Opportunities, partnerships, and resources naturally gravitate toward those who consistently deliver, act with integrity, and maintain steady progress. Wealthy individuals often benefit from this compounding of trust, as it opens doors that sporadic or inconsistent effort never could. Daily actions also serve as a foundation for mastery. The world's wealthiest understand that excellence is not achieved in a single moment, but through repetition, refinement, and continuous improvement. Small, repeated efforts allow for learning, experimentation, and growth. Each day provides feedback: what works, what doesn't, and how to adjust. By committing to consistency, you create a structured environment for skill acquisition and refinement, which eventually leads to mastery. Those who focus only on intensity without regular practice often plateau or regress, while consistent performers steadily improve, building a cumulative advantage that magnifies over time. Consistency also shapes mindset. Habits are the bridge between intention and results. The wealthy understand that success is largely a product of habitual behavior rather than isolated decisions. By acting consistently, they internalize the patterns, routines, and discipline that support their goals. These habits, once established, operate automatically, freeing mental energy for strategic thinking, creativity, and innovation. In contrast, inconsistent action leaves individuals dependent on motivation or luck, which ends creating cycles of frustration, procrastination, and self-doubt. Habits built on consistency are the scaffolding of long-term wealth and personal transformation. One of the most overlooked aspects of consistency is the power of incremental progress. Many people dismiss small actions, believing that only large dramatic efforts matter. The wealthy, however, understand that progress, no matter how slight, compounds over time. Writing a few lines every day, making a single sales call, setting aside a small portion of income for investment, or dedicating 30 minutes daily to skill development. All of these minor, consistent acts eventually create massive outcomes. The key is alignment. Every small action must be intentionally connected to the larger goal. Random effort, even if consistent, produces limited results, but consistent effort aligned with purpose generates exponential growth. Consistency also builds momentum, which is a critical factor in achieving wealth. Momentum is self-reinforcing. Small actions create results. Results build confidence. Confidence fuels further action, and the cycle continues. The wealthy harness momentum consciously. They design routines and systems that ensure daily progress, creating a flow of energy, ideas, and opportunities that accelerates results over time. By contrast, those who act only sporadically must constantly restart, overcome inertia, and rebuild motivation, losing valuable time and energy in the process. Consistency creates a compounding effect that becomes unstoppable once initiated. Another essential element is patience. Consistency requires trust in the process and the willingness to delay immediate gratification. The wealthy understand that meaningful results are rarely instant. They invest time, energy, and resources consistently, knowing that the cumulative impact will eventually manifest in abundance. This patience combined with disciplined action separates those who achieve lasting wealth from those who become frustrated and give up prematurely. Small steps taken consistently today are the seeds of future success, even if the results are not immediately visible. Accountability enhances consistency. The wealthiest individuals often create structures, systems, or alliances that ensure they remain on track. This may include personal schedules, tracking metrics, mentors, or accountability partners. By building mechanisms that reinforce regular action, they reduce the influence of distraction, fatigue, or doubt. The consistent execution of small steps supported by accountability ensures that momentum is maintained and goals remain in focus, increasing the likelihood of long-term success. Consistency also compounds opportunities. Each small action creates touch points, connections, and experiences that open doors to further possibilities. Making a daily effort to network, learn, create, or serve builds relationships, knowledge, and visibility, each of which generates additional opportunity. Wealthy people often experience this compounding effect. A single small effort made consistently over time leads to unexpected breakthroughs, partnerships, and streams of income. What appears insignificant in isolation accumulates into extraordinary outcome. Consistent action fosters resilience and adaptability. Life is unpredictable and setbacks are inevitable. By committing to regular, deliberate action, you develop the flexibility to adjust without losing momentum. Consistency teaches the mind and body to stay on course, even under pressure or in uncertainty. Wealthy individuals leverage this resilience to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building progress despite obstacles. The combination of persistence, habit, and adaptability ensures that small daily actions eventually produce results far beyond initial expectations. The single most reliable investment you can make is an investment in yourself. While others chase fleeting trends, external opportunities, or material assets, the world's wealthiest understand that the value of their own mind, skills, and personal development far exceeds any immediate financial gain. Knowledge, expertise, emotional intelligence, and self-mastery are compounding assets. The more you cultivate them, the greater your ability to create, earn, influence, and innovate. Every hour spent learning, reflecting, or improving yourself generates exponential returns over time, shaping both your mindset and your capacity to act effectively in the world. Those who neglect personal growth may gain temporary advantage, but true lasting wealth is reserved for those who make continuous investment in their own development. Investing in yourself begins with the recognition that growth is non-negotiable. Wealthy individuals approach life with a mindset of lifelong learning. They understand that no matter how skilled, talented, or successful they may become, there is always room for improvement, expansion, and refinement. This mindset creates humility and curiosity, two qualities essential for innovation and adaptability. By contrast, those who assume they have arrived stagnate, fail to anticipate change, and are eventually surpassed by more disciplined, growth-oriented individuals. Continuous self-investment is not a luxury, it is a requirement for maintaining and multiplying wealth in an ever-changing world. The forms of investment in oneself are diverse. Reading is perhaps the most accessible and powerful tool. Wealthy people devote significant time to reading books on finance, personal development, leadership, and strategy. Each book expands perspective, introduces new concepts, and cultivates ideas that can be applied immediately or in the future. Learning from the experiences and insights of others allows for accelerated growth without the trial and error cost of personal experience alone. Beyond reading, attending seminars, workshops, and courses creates immersive environments for skill acquisition, networking, and exposure to transformative ideas. Continuous learning creates a reservoir of knowledge that can be drawn upon to navigate complex challenges and identify opportunities that others may overlook. Investing in emotional intelligence is equally critical. Wealth is not created in isolation. It flows through relationships, collaboration, and influence. The ability to manage emotions, communicate effectively, and navigate interpersonal dynamics is a skill that multiplies returns in business, career, and personal life. Wealthy individuals develop self-awareness, empathy, and resilience, ensuring that they can lead, negotiate, and connect in ways that open doors and create partnerships. Emotional growth enables them to remain steady under pressure, maintain focus, and seize opportunities that others might miss due to reactive or fear-based behavior. Health and well-being are also vital components of self-investment. The body is the vehicle through which all action is performed, and physical vitality directly impacts mental clarity, productivity, and decision-making. Wealthy individuals prioritize exercise, nutrition, and rest, recognizing that energy and stamina are essential for sustained effort and creativity. Investing in physical and mental well-being ensures that the mind and body are aligned to act decisively and consistently, amplifying the benefits of knowledge and skill development. Without this foundation, even the most brilliant strategies or intentions are limited by fatigue, stress, or lack of focus. Mentorship and guidance are powerful forms of self-investment. Learning from those who have already walked the path of success accelerates growth and avoids unnecessary mistakes. Wealthy individuals seek mentors, advisors, and coaches to challenge their thinking, refine their skills, and expand their perspective. Mentorship is not merely about receiving advice. It is about exposure to new paradigms, opportunities, and ways of thinking that transform both mindset and action. The insights gained through mentorship often provide leverage that compounds over time, producing results far greater than isolated effort alone. Self-reflection and personal assessment are essential components of continuous investment. The wealthy regularly evaluate their performance, mindset, and habits to identify areas for improvement. This practice of self-awareness ensures that knowledge is not accumulated passively but applied strategically. By analyzing successes and failures, they gain clarity on what works, what does not, and how to adjust their approach. Reflection transforms experience into wisdom, creating a cycle where action leads to insight. Insight informs strategy, and strategy generates even greater result. Investing in creativity and problem-solving ability is another habit for leveraging time wisely critical aspect. Wealth is not simply about earning money. It is about creating value. Developing the capacity to think innovatively, approach challenges from new angles, and envision solutions that others overlook is a skill that multiplies financial potential. The wealthiest individuals often dedicate time to exercises, experiences, or collaborations that expand creative thinking and mental flexibility. By enhancing the ability to generate value, they increase the flow of wealth, opportunities, and influence in ways that cannot be replicated by rote effort or external resources alone. Financial literacy itself is a form of self-investment that cannot be overstated. Understanding money, investments, risk management, and financial systems is crucial for multiplying wealth. The wealthy educate themselves on the principles of earning, saving, investing, and leveraging resources effectively. Knowledge of financial mechanics allows them to identify high-value opportunities, minimize unnecessary losses, and make informed decisions that grow their assets over time. Those who neglect financial education remain dependent on chance, guidance from others, or short-term gains, limiting the potential for lasting wealth creation. Time management is another critical area of investment. How you use your hours and energy determines the trajectory of your personal and financial growth. Wealthy individuals deliberately structure their time around high-value activities, learning, and strategic actions that align with their long-term vision. By investing time wisely, they ensure that every moment contributes to the compounding of knowledge, skills, and results. In contrast, those who squander time on distractions or low-value tasks find that effort and talent alone are insufficient to produce meaningful, lasting wealth. Networking and relationship building are also essential components of self-investment. Connections with like-minded, ambitious, and knowledgeable individuals open doors, provide resources, and amplify opportunities. Wealthy individuals approach relationships strategically, offering value, learning from others, and cultivating alliances that create mutual benefit. These relationships often become catalysts for new ventures, partnerships, and streams of income that would be inaccessible without intentional cultivation. The network itself is an extension of personal growth, magnifying the impact of knowledge, skills, and experience. Continuous investment in oneself requires discipline, focus, and a proactive mindset. Growth does not happen passively. It is the result of deliberate decisions to seek knowledge, develop skills, and expand capability. Wealthy individuals view every challenge, opportunity, and experience as a chance to invest in themselves. Whether by learning a new skill, refining emotional intelligence, or experimenting with innovative approaches, this proactive, disciplined approach ensures that knowledge and personal growth compound over time, producing exponential returns that extend far beyond financial wealth. Investing in yourself is the foundation upon which all other wealth-building habits rest. Knowledge, skill, resilience, creativity, emotional intelligence, and health are the infrastructure that allows opportunity-focused thinking, consistent action, visualization, and generosity to produce results. The world's wealthiest understand that assets may fluctuate, markets may change, and circumstances may shift, but the value of a cultivated mind and disciplined growing self is enduring. Every effort invested in personal growth multiplies potential influence and income, creating a life of sustained abundance that is virtually impervious to temporary setbacks or external limitation. The people you spend the most time with have an enormous influence on your thoughts, habits, beliefs, and ultimately your level of success. Wealth is not created in isolation. While individual effort is important, the environment in which you operate, including the people you associate with, plays a critical role in shaping your mindset and opportunities. The world's wealthiest individuals understand that their network is not merely a collection of acquaintances, but a dynamic system of influence, support, and shared energy. By surrounding themselves with ambitious, resourceful, and success-oriented people, they elevate their own thinking, access opportunities they could not find alone, and reinforce habits that propel them toward their goal. The principle is simple. Your net worth is largely a reflection of your network. Human beings are highly influenced by social patterns. Habits, attitudes, and expectations are often absorbed subconsciously from those around us. If you consistently spend time with people who think small, doubt possibilities, or focus on limitations, your own beliefs and actions are likely to reflect that scarcity mindset. On the other hand, when you align with individuals who are motivated, Forward-thinking and committed to growth, their energy, perspectives, and strategies begin to influence your own. This is why wealthy individuals are deliberate about the company they keep. They choose environments and relationships that reinforce positive habits, ambitious thinking, and consistent action, creating an ecosystem that naturally fosters growth and opportunity. The value of mentorship cannot be overstated in this context. Mentors provide guidance, insight, and perspective that dramatically accelerate growth. They help identify blind spots, offer proven strategies, and provide encouragement when challenges arise. Wealthy individuals actively seek mentors who have already achieved the level of success they aspire to. They understand that learning from someone else's experience is exponentially more efficient than trial and error alone. A mentor not only imparts knowledge, but also introduces you to their network, further expanding the circle of influence and potential opportunities available to you. Peer influence is another critical aspect. Surrounding yourself with ambitious-driven peers creates a culture of accountability, motivation, and shared learning. These are individuals who challenge you to think bigger, push harder, and pursue excellence consistently. In such an environment, success is normalized. Ambitious goals are expected, not exceptional. The wealthy cultivate peer groups, mastermind alliances, or communities of like-minded individuals who hold each other accountable and elevate collective performance. The synergy generated in such groups amplifies personal growth and accelerates wealth creation. As ideas, strategies, and resources are shared freely and multiplied collectively, energy is contagious. The mindset and emotional state of those around you influence your own thoughts, confidence, and actions. Being in the presence of negative, doubtful, or fear-driven individuals can drain motivation, cloud judgment, and reinforce limiting beliefs. Conversely, being around positive, proactive, and successful individuals elevates your energy, sharpens your focus, and encourages creative problem-solving. Wealthy individuals are acutely aware of the subtle yet profound impact of emotional and mental energy on their performance. They deliberately curate their circles to maintain high vibration, success-oriented environments that support their long-term vision. Strategic alliances and partnerships are another component of surrounding yourself with success. Wealthy people recognize that collaboration can multiply results in ways individual effort cannot. They seek relationships that are mutually beneficial, where each party contributes value and gains from shared expertise, resources, or influence. These strategic connections often become catalysts for business ventures, investments, or opportunities that would be inaccessible alone. By aligning with those who complement their skills and expand their reach, wealthy individuals leverage the collective power of their network to accelerate success and create opportunities on a scale that exceeds their individual capacity. Exposure to diverse perspectives is also essential. Surrounding yourself solely with individuals who think exactly like you may provide comfort, but limits growth. Wealthy individuals intentionally seek out people with different experiences, expertise, and viewpoints. These diverse perspectives stimulate creativity, encourage critical thinking, and reveal opportunities or risks that may otherwise be overlooked. By balancing like-minded ambition with varied perspectives, they enhance decision-making, innovation, and the ability to navigate complex challenges. The right network provides both support and constructive challenge, a combination that drives consistent growth. Networking is not passive. It requires deliberate action and engagement. Wealthy individuals invest time and effort into cultivating relationships rather than waiting for opportunities to arise. They attend events, participate in communities, and maintain meaningful connections through consistent communication, value exchange, and collaboration. They understand that a strong network is built on reciprocity, trust, and shared vision, not superficial contact. By actively nurturing relationships, they create a reservoir of influence, support, and opportunity that compounds over time, reinforcing their trajectory towards success. The principle of modeling also applies in the context of your network. By observing, learning from, and emulating the habits, strategies, and mindset of successful individuals, you accelerate your own growth. Wealthy people study the behaviors, routines, and decision-making processes of those they admire, integrating these patterns into their own lives. Surrounding yourself with high achievers creates constant exposure to excellence, reinforcing standards, expectations, and behaviors that drive results. In this way, the environment itself becomes an incubator for success, continuously shaping your mindset, choices, and performance. Accountability within a strong network is a powerful multiplier. Being connected to people who hold you responsible for your goals, actions, and commitments creates an external support system that reinforces internal discipline. The wealthy often participate in mastermind groups, coaching programs, or peer accountability structures precisely because they magnify focus, consistency, and results. Accountability ensures that goals are not just aspirational but actively pursued and realized, providing both motivation and structure in the journey toward wealth. Influence and reputation are further magnified through a strong network. When you are surrounded by accomplished, respected individuals, your own credibility and visibility are enhanced. This social proof opens doors, attracts opportunities, and creates momentum that would be difficult to achieve in isolation. Wealthy individuals recognize that who you know and how you are perceived can significantly impact the speed and scale of your success. By cultivating relationships with people who exemplify success, they not only gain resources and insights, but also strengthen their own reputation and influence in the broader ecosystem. A high-quality network serves as a source of inspiration and motivation. Witnessing the achievements, perseverance, and innovation of those around you reinforces what is possible and expands your vision of what you can achieve. The wealthy use their networks as mirrors reflecting potential, possibility, and opportunity. They are constantly exposed to ideas, strategies, and attitudes that elevate their own thinking, drive, and creativity. In this environment, ambition becomes normalized, challenges become opportunities, and the path to wealth is illuminated by the collective energy and insight of those surrounding you. Wealth is rarely created by avoiding risk. The world's most successful individuals understand that opportunities for extraordinary growth almost always come wrapped in uncertainty. The difference between those who achieve lasting prosperity and those who remain stagnant lies not in a fearlessness that ignores danger, but in the intelligent embrace of calculated risk. Risk is the gateway to reward, and those who approach it thoughtfully, strategically, and courageously position themselves to access opportunities that others overlook or avoid. Avoiding risk entirely is paradoxically the greatest risk of all because it confines potential, limits growth, and leaves abundance unrealized. The first principle of embracing risk intelligently is clarity of vision. Before taking action, the wealthy define the desired outcome with precision. They visualize not only success but also the pathway to achieve it, including potential obstacles and challenges. This clarity provides a framework for evaluating risk. Understanding what is at stake, what resources are required, and what the potential benefits are. By clearly articulating the goal, they create a mental map that guides decision-making, enabling them to take bold steps with confidence rather than recklessly gambling with uncertainty. Intelligent risk involves preparation. Wealthy individuals research thoroughly, gather information, and assess probabilities before committing resources. They evaluate potential scenarios, consider contingencies, and plan for obstacles, ensuring that their actions are informed rather than impulsive. Knowledge and preparation reduce the likelihood of failure while increasing the potential for success. This disciplined approach transforms risk from a source of fear into a tool for strategic advancement. Preparation does not eliminate uncertainty, but it equips the individual to navigate it effectively, turning challenges into opportunities. Calculated boldness also requires the willingness to act decisively. Many people overanalyze, procrastinate, or wait for perfect conditions that rarely arrive. The wealthy understand that action itself is a form of intelligence. By moving decisively, they gain experience, learn quickly, and adjust strategies in real time. Hesitation often results in missed opportunities, while timely action creates momentum, learning, and unforeseen advantages. Embracing risk intelligently does not mean rushing blindly. It means pairing clarity and preparation with the courage to act even when the outcome is not guaranteed. Another critical component is resilience. Risk inevitably involves the possibility of setbacks or failures. Wealthy individuals do not fear failure. They anticipate it, learn from it, and use it as fuel for growth. Each calculated risk provides feedback, insight, and experience that sharpens decision-making for future opportunities. By reframing failure as a necessary and valuable component of progress, they maintain momentum and continue to take intelligent risks. The ability to recover, adapt, and persist transforms setbacks into stepping stones toward wealth, creating a compounding effect over time. Diversification is a key strategy for mitigating risk while maximizing potential reward. Wealthy people rarely place all resources or energy into a single venture. They spread efforts across multiple opportunities, each carefully evaluated for potential return and alignment with their goals. This approach balances risk, reduces vulnerability, and increases the likelihood of achieving significant gains. Diversification does not dilute ambition. Rather, it creates a safety net that allows for bolder moves in areas with high potential payoff. Calculated boldness is amplified when risks are spread strategically. Habit 50 faith that attracts abundance, ensuring that potential losses do not derail long-term progress. Risk-taking is also rooted in confidence. Confidence built on skill, knowledge, and experience. The wealthy continually invest in themselves, developing expertise, competence, and intuition that inform their decisions. Confidence enables them to act decisively and persistently even in uncertain or high-stakes situations. Without this foundation, risk-taking becomes reckless or paralyzing. By cultivating mastery in relevant domains, they transform uncertainty into opportunity, using skill and insight to navigate complexity with poise and effectiveness. Emotional control is another essential element. Fear, greed, or impulsivity often distort perception, leading to poor decisions. Wealthy individuals cultivate emotional intelligence, ensuring that their responses to risk are rational, strategic, and aligned with long-term objectives. They maintain a balanced mindset, embracing the excitement of opportunity while tempering it with caution, preparation, and thoughtful analysis. Emotional mastery ensures that risks are assessed accurately, decisions are deliberate, and actions are purposeful, rather than reactive or impulsive. Networking and collaboration enhance the ability to embrace risk intelligently by surrounding themselves with knowledgeable, experienced, and resourceful individuals. The wealthy gain perspectives, advice, and support that reduce uncertainty. Mentors, partners, and peers provide insight into potential pitfalls, offer alternative strategies, and validate decisions. This network acts as both a sounding board and a safety net, enabling calculated boldness without recklessness. The collective wisdom of a well-chosen network multiplies the potential for successful risk-taking. Timing is a crucial factor. Calculated risk is not merely about what action to take, but when to take it. Wealthy individuals develop the patience and intuition to recognize the right moment to act, balancing urgency with strategic timing. They study trends, market dynamics, and situational indicators, understanding that the same opportunity can yield vastly different outcomes depending on timing. Acting too early or too late can reduce potential rewards, while well-timed informed action dramatically increases the likelihood of success. Timing transforms risk into advantage. Visionary thinking magnifies the impact of intelligent risk. Wealthy individuals do not take risks solely for immediate gain. They envision the long-term possibilities and strategic outcomes. They assess potential leverage, scalability, and future benefits, ensuring that each bold move aligns with a broader vision of growth and prosperity. By integrating foresight into risk-taking, they convert calculated decisions into transformative outcomes that compound over time. Risk becomes not a gamble, but a deliberate investment in the future. Persistence and iteration are critical. Rarely does a single attempt achieve maximum success. Wealthy individuals take repeated calculated actions, learning and refining with each iteration. Risk is a process, not a single event. By continually assessing, adjusting, and acting, they increase their chances of success exponentially. Each cycle of risk-taking produces knowledge, connections, and momentum that further enhances future opportunities. Persistence ensures that intelligent risk yields maximum return over time. Embracing risk intelligently requires a mindset shift. The wealthy see risk not as a threat to be avoided, but as a necessary instrument for creating extraordinary outcomes. They balance courage with analysis, preparation with intuition, and decisiveness with patience. They take bold action while managing uncertainty, understanding that reward is proportional to the willingness to step beyond comfort zones in pursuit of high-value opportunities. Calculated boldness is the engine that transforms potential into wealth, enabling individuals to achieve levels of success that cautious, risk-averse thinking could never reach. The mind is the architect of reality. Every tangible achievement, every accumulation of wealth, every extraordinary opportunity first exists as a thought, an image, or a vision. Visualization is not a fanciful exercise in daydreaming. It is a deliberate, powerful tool that the world's wealthiest use to direct energy, focus, and action towards specific outcomes. When paired with decisive, consistent action, clear mental imagery transforms abstract desires into measurable real-world results. The process begins with clarity of vision, seeing, feeling, and internalizing what you intend to manifest. The more vivid and detailed the mental image, the stronger the magnetic force that draws circumstances, resources, and opportunities toward that vision. Visualization operates on multiple levels. At its core, it programs the subconscious mind. The subconscious does not distinguish between imagined and real experiences. It responds to the mental and emotional energy attached to the image. By visualizing success as if it has already occurred, the subconscious begins to generate thoughts, ideas, and impulses that align with that outcome. This alignment subtly guides behavior, decision-making, and opportunity recognition. Wealthy individuals understand that visualization is not passive. It is an active dialogue with the subconscious, directing it to identify pathways, solutions, and possibilities that may be invisible to a mind focused solely on the present or constrained by perceived limitation. The details matter immensely. Visualization is most effective when it engages multiple senses and emotions. The wealthiest individuals do not simply imagine an abstract goal. They mentally immerse themselves in the experience of success. They feel the excitement of achievement, hear the sounds associated with accomplishment, see the outcomes vividly, and sense the confidence and satisfaction of attainment. This multi-sensory engagement intensifies the subconscious programming, making the desired outcome feel tangible and deeply compelling. The more convincingly the mind experiences the vision, the more naturally it guides conscious action toward its realization. Visualization also clarifies goals. When you take time to mentally rehearse a desired outcome, you define what you truly want. Distinguish it from distractions or superficial desires, and focus energy on high-priority objectives. Wealthy individuals regularly visualize specific targets, whether financial milestones, business achievements, personal accomplishments, or lifestyle changes. This clarity prevents wasted effort, enhances strategic decision-making, and creates a mental roadmap that informs consistent, purposeful action. Without visualization, goals remain vague, scattered, and easily derailed by competing priorities or uncertainty. Coupling visualization with belief amplifies its effect. The subconscious mind responds not only to images but also to conviction and expectation. Wealthy people visualize with unwavering confidence, fully expecting that the outcome is not just possible but inevitable. This belief generates emotional resonance, reinforcing focus, perseverance, and resilience. Doubt or hesitation weakens visualization, creating internal friction that impedes progress. By cultivating certainty, emotional alignment, and clarity, the wealthy transform their mental imagery into a potent force that shapes reality. Action is the necessary complement to visualization. Imagining success alone without deliberate effort achieves little. Visualization creates direction, focus, and intention. But wealth requires execution. The world's most successful individuals use mental imagery as a compass for action. Visualization informs strategy, guides daily habits, and inspires initiatives that are aligned with the desired outcome. It generates creativity, problem-solving ability, and the courage to take calculated steps that bring the vision into reality. Thought without action remains fantasy. Action without vision often lacks efficiency and impact. The combination of both produces exponential results. Repetition strengthens the effect of visualization. Wealthy individuals practice daily mental rehearsal, treating visualization as a routine habit rather than an occasional exercise. They often dedicate time in the morning or evening to immerse themselves in the experience of their goals, repeatedly reinforcing the desired outcome. This repetition solidifies neural pathways in the brain, enhances focus, and strengthens the subconscious alignment that drives consistent behavior. The accumulation of repeated mental imagery compounds over time, creating momentum that translates into tangible achievements. Visualization also influences perception and opportunity recognition. When you consistently see a specific outcome, your mind becomes attuned to opportunities, resources, and pathways that support that vision. The wealthiest individuals often notice potential connections, ideas, or openings that others overlook because their focus is not aligned with scarcity or limitation, but with possibility and growth. Visualization tunes the mind to recognize what supports success, effectively creating a radar for opportunity that continuously guides conscious action. Emotional engagement enhances visualization. Further, the wealthiest do not merely see the outcome, they feel the emotions of success. The pride, gratitude, excitement, and confidence associated with achieving the goal. Emotional intensity amplifies the subconscious response, creating alignment between desire, belief, and action. When the mind and emotions are united around a clear vision, behavior, focus, and resilience naturally follow. The magnetic force of combined mental imagery and emotional resonance draws resources, circumstances, and support into alignment with the envisioned outcome. Visualization also strengthens decision-making. When faced with choices, individuals who have clearly visualized their goals can assess opportunities against that mental benchmark. Actions and investments that align with the vision are pursued with confidence, while distractions, risks, or opportunities misaligned with the end goal are more easily recognized and avoided. The clarity provided by visualization reduces indecision, enhances focus, and ensures that effort is directed toward high-value activities that accelerate progress. Consistency in both visualization and action ensures compounding results. Wealthy individuals practice both daily, reinforcing mental clarity, alignment, and momentum. Visualization becomes not a one-time event, but an integral part of the decision-making process, daily habits, and long-term planning. By maintaining this consistency, the outcomes envisioned in the mind are steadily translated into external reality, creating a bridge between aspiration and tangible achievement. Visualization encourages proactive problem-solving and creativity. By mentally rehearsing success, the mind anticipates obstacles and experiments with solutions in advance. Wealthy individuals often imagine scenarios in which challenges arise, mentally test strategies, and prepare for contingencies. This mental rehearsal generates innovation, adaptability, and preparedness that significantly enhance the probability of success. Visualization is not merely a dream of what could be. It is an active exercise in shaping reality by aligning focus, belief, emotion, and action. The mind is a powerful instrument, but it is also highly impressionable. Whatever it dwells upon, it amplifies, and the wealthy understand this principle intuitively. Attention directed toward problems generates more problems, while attention focused on solutions generates action, opportunity, and result. The difference between those who accumulate wealth and those who struggle is not merely circumstance. It is the orientation of thought. The world's most successful individuals do not deny challenges or pretend they do not exist. Instead, they consciously choose to direct mental, emotional, and physical energy towards solutions, strategies, and creative responses. This shift in focus transforms obstacles into stepping stones, setbacks into learning experiences, and uncertainty into opportunity. When you concentrate on problems, the mind becomes reactive, anxious, and limited. It repeatedly analyzes the difficulty, magnifying its significance and creating a loop of worry, fear, and inaction. Energy is wasted on resistance rather than creation. The wealthy recognize this trap and refuse to dwell in it. They acknowledge the existence of the problem, extract the necessary information or lessons, and immediately pivot toward proactive thinking. This approach does not ignore reality. It reorients energy toward constructive action. The subconscious mind, when repeatedly trained to seek solutions, begins to generate ideas, connections, and strategies that lead to resolution, turning challenges into catalysts for growth and wealth. Solution-oriented thinking requires clarity and definition. Wealthy individuals identify the desired outcome first, then assess the gap between the current state and that goal by framing challenges in terms of objectives and possibilities rather than obstacles. The mind becomes equipped to generate actionable steps. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What steps can I take to achieve the desired outcome?" This subtle shift in language and focus rewires perception, allowing creative solutions to emerge naturally. Problems are reframed as opportunities for innovation, growth, and advantage. Action is the natural companion of solution-focused thought. The wealthy do not simply brainstorm or theorize. They implement, test, and refine solutions in real time. By consistently translating ideas into action, they accumulate progress even in the face of difficulty. Small, deliberate steps compound into significant results. While a focus on the problem alone produces stagnation, directing energy towards solutions generates momentum, reinforces confidence, and attracts opportunities. As action itself signals capability and readiness to the subconscious mind, other people, and the universe. Creativity thrives when the mind is solution-oriented. Problem-focused thinking often traps the mind in repetition, replaying the same scenarios without producing new ideas. In contrast, focusing on solutions engages imagination, encourages experimentation, and stimulates alternative perspectives. Wealthy individuals consciously cultivate environments, habits, and practices that enhance creative thinking, ensuring that obstacles are viewed as challenges to be solved rather than threats to be feared. This mindset not only generates financial opportunities, but also strengthens adaptability, strategic thinking, and resilience, qualities essential for sustaining long-term wealth. Emotional management is integral, applying habits in real life to this principle. Problems can provoke fear, anger, frustration, and helplessness, all of which deplete energy and cloud judgment. Wealthy individuals recognize that emotional clarity is necessary for effective problem-solving. By maintaining composure, optimism, and focus, they ensure that mental energy is applied constructively rather than wasted in reactive patterns. The ability to respond calmly and strategically in the face of difficulty amplifies the effectiveness of solution-oriented thinking, enabling decisive action and fostering confidence in the process of overcoming challenges. Perspective is another key factor. Wealthy individuals assess challenges within a broader context, understanding that problems are temporary and often offer valuable lessons. They adopt a mindset of curiosity and learning, asking, "What can this situation teach me?" or "How can this be leveraged for growth?" This perspective reduces resistance, opens creative channels, and transforms obstacles into stepping stones for greater wealth and opportunity. By reframing challenges as sources of insight and possibility, they maintain momentum and focus on actions that produce tangible outcomes. Resourcefulness is heightened by a focus on solutions. Wealthy people actively seek tools, knowledge, connections, and strategies that can resolve challenges. They do not wait passively for circumstances to change. They create their own leverage by analyzing what is within their control and acting on it. They convert potential limitations into opportunities. Solution-focused energy generates initiative, leadership, and influence, further compounding the ability to create wealth and navigate complexity. Collaboration enhances solution-oriented approaches. The wealthy understand that others can offer insights, resources, and skills that they may not possess. Seeking input, advice, or partnerships is not a sign of weakness, but a strategic approach to maximizing outcomes. Solution-focused individuals build networks of capable, aligned people who can contribute to problem resolution and innovation. This approach multiplies resources, reduces blind spots, and accelerates the path from challenge to success. Visualization complements solution-oriented thinking. By mentally rehearsing the desired outcome, wealthy individuals clarify objectives, anticipate potential obstacles, and preemptively test strategies. This mental preparation strengthens confidence, sharpens focus, and enhances the ability to act decisively. The combination of visualization and a solution-oriented mindset ensures that action is guided by clarity rather than by reaction to fear or uncertainty. Gratitude supports this principle as well. Wealthy people often cultivate appreciation even during challenging situations, recognizing resources, lessons, and opportunities within difficulty. Gratitude shifts focus from scarcity to abundance, reducing stress and enhancing mental clarity. A grateful mindset amplifies solution-oriented energy, fostering optimism, resilience, and creativity that directly contribute to overcoming obstacles and generating wealth. Accountability reinforces the practice of focusing on solutions. Wealthy individuals hold themselves responsible for outcomes rather than blaming circumstances or external factors. They consistently ask, "What can I do to improve this situation?" Or "What steps will move me closer to my goal?" This proactive, accountable approach ensures that energy is continually directed toward action, adaptation, and resolution, reinforcing habits that produce consistent results. A solution-focused mindset attracts opportunity. People, resources, and circumstances naturally gravitate toward those who are proactive, capable, and constructive. Wealthy individuals become magnets for collaboration, investment, and support because their focus is on achieving results rather than complaining or dwelling on limitations. By consistently directing energy towards solutions, they generate a positive feedback loop. Action produces results. Results attract resources, and resources enable further action, creating a compounding trajectory toward wealth and success. The principle of giving is one of the most powerful yet often misunderstood laws of wealth. True abundance does not accumulate in isolation. It flows through channels, and one of the most significant channels is generosity. The world's wealthiest individuals understand that prosperity is not merely a personal accumulation of resources, but an energetic exchange that multiplies when shared. Giving, whether in the form of money, time, knowledge, or influence, activates the law of circulation, a universal principle in which energy moves, expands, and returns magnified by consciously contributing to others. The wealthy create momentum for continued abundance, aligning themselves with forces that support growth, opportunity, and long-term prosperity. Generosity begins with mindset. Wealthy individuals do not see giving as a sacrifice or a loss. They see it as an investment in the flow of life. Scarcity thinking limits circulation by hoarding resources, creating resistance, and blocking potential. In contrast, a mindset of abundance recognizes that resources are not finite, and that sharing multiplies rather than diminishes value. This mental orientation transforms giving into a natural, joyful act rather than an obligation, reinforcing alignment with universal laws that reward the circulation of wealth. Intentional giving amplifies impact. The wealthy are deliberate about how and where they give, ensuring that their contributions create meaningful change. This may include mentoring, funding initiatives, supporting communities, or assisting individuals in ways that align with their values and vision. Strategic generosity magnifies both the giver's influence and the effectiveness of the gift, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond the initial act. When giving is aligned with purpose, it becomes a multiplier, generating returns in unexpected and often exponential ways. The law of circulation is not limited to material wealth. Knowledge, ideas, skills, and time are equally valuable forms of currency. Wealthy individuals understand that sharing expertise or mentoring others creates compounding returns. By elevating those around them, they expand networks of influence, cultivate loyalty, and generate opportunities that flow back into their own lives. Abundance is not merely financial. It is holistic, encompassing influence, relationships, creativity, and impact. When these resources are circulated, they generate a self-reinforcing system of growth and prosperity. Generosity also cultivates gratitude and perspective. By giving, the wealthy maintain awareness of their own abundance, shifting focus from scarcity or competition to appreciation and possibility. This mindset strengthens resilience, optimism, and alignment with long-term goals. Gratitude deepens connection with the present moment, fosters trust in the process of wealth creation, and enhances clarity in decision-making. The act of giving reinforces a positive feedback loop. Generosity generates gratitude, which reinforces abundance consciousness, which in turn attracts further wealth and opportunity. The wealthy understand the psychological and energetic dimensions of giving. Acts of generosity produce a sense of fulfillment and joy, releasing positive energy that enhances creativity, focus, and confidence. This emotional return is part of the compounding effect of giving. The more freely one contributes, the greater the internal alignment and clarity, which then informs action, strategy, and opportunity recognition. The energy of giving is transformative both externally and internally, and becomes a powerful driver of continued wealth creation. Giving strategically requires foresight and intentionality. Wealthy individuals identify where their resources can produce the greatest impact, whether in the form of relationships, financial investments, or influence. They often consider the potential for long-term benefit, focusing on contributions that foster growth, empowerment, and opportunity for others. By directing resources thoughtfully, they ensure that generosity is not merely reactive, but amplifies both personal and collective wealth. Strategic giving strengthens influence, expands networks, and generates goodwill that circles back in unexpected ways. Generosity also strengthens social capital. Wealthy people recognize that influence, reputation, and relationships are forms of wealth that are reinforced through giving. By supporting others, they cultivate trust, loyalty, and alignment with individuals who are capable, ambitious, and resourceful. This social capital becomes a powerful multiplier, attracting opportunities, partnerships, and collaborative ventures that further enhance prosperity. The principle is simple. When you contribute to the success of others, you expand your own ecosystem of wealth, influence, and opportunity. Consistency in giving is a hallmark of abundance-oriented thinking. Sporadic generosity may create temporary impact, but consistent contribution aligns the individual with the flow of universal law. Wealthy individuals integrate giving into daily, weekly, or ongoing practices, ensuring that circulation is habitual rather than occasional. This constancy reinforces the expectation of return and sustains momentum, creating a rhythm of abundance that continually expands over time. Consistent giving transforms a passive wealth mindset into an active self-reinforcing system of prosperity. Empathy and alignment are essential in giving. The wealthy recognize that effective generosity requires understanding the needs, desires, and potential of those who receive. Giving without awareness or alignment may not produce meaningful impact or create reciprocal flow. By observing, listening, and responding thoughtfully, they ensure that their contributions create value, empowerment, and opportunity, generating returns in alignment with purpose. The act of giving becomes a deliberate and intelligent extension of wealth creation rather than a purely emotional impulse. Generosity also fosters innovation. By investing in others, whether through funding, mentorship, or collaboration, the wealthy stimulate creativity, problem-solving, and new initiatives. Supporting innovation in others expands the scope of opportunity and multiplies potential wealth streams. Each act of giving can catalyze new ventures, ideas, and possibilities that benefit the giver and the broader community, creating an expanding cycle of abundance. The energetic and strategic impact of giving when applied consistently is both exponential and transformative. The law of circulation also reinforces resilience and adaptability. Wealthy individuals who give understand that abundance is not static, it is a dynamic flow. Contributions create momentum, attract opportunity, and encourage alignment with forces beyond immediate control. By participating in this flow through giving, they maintain adaptability, openness, and receptivity to new channels of prosperity. Generosity creates a feedback loop of positive energy, which sustains motivation, focus, and creative problem-solving in the pursuit of wealth. The act of giving cultivates a legacy of impact. Wealthy people recognize that true prosperity extends beyond personal accumulation. It is measured by the lives touched, the communities uplifted, and the systems enhanced. Generosity amplifies influence, reinforces alignment with universal principles, and ensures that wealth is not confined to self-interest, but participates in the broader flow of life. By giving generously, they create enduring returns that extend beyond immediate financial gain, generating a life of meaning, influence, and continued abundance. Time is the one resource that cannot be replenished. Unlike money, assets, or opportunities, time moves in only one direction, never pausing, never returning. The world's wealthiest individuals recognize that the proper management and leverage of time is foundational to creating lasting wealth. While many focus on increasing income or acquiring possessions, the truly successful focus on maximizing the productivity, value, and strategic impact of every moment. Each hour, each minute is an opportunity to create, learn, connect, and advance toward meaningful objectives. Understanding and respecting the value of time transforms ordinary effort into exponential results, allowing even small actions to accumulate into substantial wealth over the long term. The first step in leveraging time wisely is awareness. Wealthy individuals are highly conscious of how they spend their hours and the alignment of activities with their highest priorities. They do not allow themselves to drift through days, reacting to external demands or distractions. Instead, they structure time around objectives that create meaningful outcomes. Whether in business, investment, learning, or personal growth, awareness of time cultivates intentionality. It ensures that energy is directed toward tasks that compound rather than dissipate resources and effort. Time awareness is not merely about scheduling, but about valuing each moment as a building block of long-term success. Prioritization is a key principle in managing time effectively. The wealthy recognize that not all tasks hold equal weight, and that energy expended on low-value activities diminishes capacity for high-impact work. By identifying critical actions that generate the greatest return on time invested, they focus attention on what truly matters. This requires discipline and the ability to distinguish between urgency and importance, avoiding the trap of busyness without progress. Effective prioritization transforms time from a passive resource into a dynamic tool for wealth creation, enabling consistent, purposeful action toward long-term objectives. Delegation is another cornerstone of leveraging time. Wealthy individuals understand that their personal attention is limited and must be applied where it generates maximum value. They delegate, automate, or outsource tasks that are routine, low value, or outside their area of expertise. By doing so, they free mental, emotional, and physical energy for activities that directly advance their wealth and influence. Delegation is not avoidance. It is strategic amplification. Every moment spent on high-leverage activity has a compounded effect, while time spent on low-leverage tasks diminishes overall potential. The ability to delegate effectively multiplies productivity and accelerates progress. Time management also requires planning and structure. Wealthy people often use systems, schedules, and routines to optimize efficiency and ensure that each day contributes meaningfully to larger goals. Planning creates a framework for action, reduces decision fatigue, and ensures that energy is applied intentionally rather than wasted in reactive cycles. Structured use of time enhances focus, consistency, and momentum, all of which are critical for converting effort into measurable results. Even flexibility within planning is strategic, allowing for adaptation without losing alignment with high-priority objectives. The value of incremental progress cannot be underestimated. The wealthy understand that consistent small actions accumulate over time to produce extraordinary outcomes. Daily habits, focused work blocks, learning sessions, or networking efforts, when repeated systematically compound to create significant advantage. Time is leveraged not only in major investments or initiatives, but in the disciplined accumulation of small, deliberate actions. This compounding effect transforms ordinary days into the spiritual foundation of wealth trajectory of extraordinary achievement, demonstrating the power of patience and persistence applied consistently. Focus is an essential element of time leverage. Wealthy individuals minimize distractions, limit multitasking, and cultivate environments that support deep work. Concentrated attention applied to high-value tasks dramatically increases output and accelerates results. Distraction dissipates energy, reduces efficiency, and fragments attention, undermining the potential of each moment by cultivating focused work habits. The wealthy transform time from a passive measurement into an active agent of growth, turning hours into tangible progress toward wealth and influence. Time is also a lens for evaluating opportunity. The wealthy recognize that every moment spent in one endeavor is a moment not spent in another. They assess whether activities, relationships, and engagements are aligned with strategic objectives and long-term goals by consciously choosing where to invest time. They maximize leverage, creating a self-reinforcing cycle where effort, skill, and opportunity converge for exponential impact. Wasted time is opportunity deferred. Invested time compounds, producing both immediate results and future potential. Learning and personal development are critical applications of time leverage. Wealthy individuals dedicate consistent periods to acquiring knowledge, refining skills, and enhancing capability. This investment of time multiplies future earnings and influence as the application of new skills and insights accelerates problem-solving, innovation, and opportunity recognition. Time spent on learning is never lost. It compounds across every decision, interaction, and action, producing returns that grow indefinitely over a lifetime. Time is also leveraged through strategic reflection. Wealthy people regularly evaluate how they have spent their hours, what actions produced results, and how processes can be improved. Reflection creates clarity, identifies inefficiencies, and informs future prioritization by assessing performance and outcomes. They continuously refine the use of time, ensuring that effort remains aligned with objectives and that energy is applied where it produces maximum value. Reflection transforms experience into actionable insight, allowing time to be used smarter and more effectively. The principle of opportunity cost is central to time leverage. Every choice has a cost in terms of time that could have been applied elsewhere. Wealthy individuals evaluate decisions with this perspective, consciously allocating time to activities that generate the highest return on investment. This mindset transforms decision-making, ensuring that effort is applied strategically rather than scattered across low-value endeavors. Time leveraged with awareness and intention becomes a force multiplier, creating exponential growth in wealth, influence, and impact. Automation and technology further enhance time leverage. The wealthy adopt tools, systems, and processes that streamline routine tasks, optimize efficiency, and expand capacity. By applying technology strategically, they free time for high-leverage activities, magnifying results without additional effort. Leveraging external resources in this way transforms the relationship with time, converting a finite resource into a platform for scalable wealth creation. The wealthy recognize that time is the ultimate equalizer. Every individual is granted the same 24 hours each day. What differentiates those who achieve extraordinary wealth is not resources, luck, or talent alone, but the disciplined, strategic, and consistent use of that time. By valuing every moment, prioritizing high-impact actions, leveraging resources, and maintaining focus, they transform ordinary hours into extraordinary results. Time properly managed and applied becomes the single most powerful asset in wealth creation, surpassing money, influence, or material resources because it underpins every action, opportunity, and outcome. Faith is not a passive hope or wishful thinking. It is a dynamic active force that shapes reality, aligns energy, and attracts opportunities. The world's wealthiest individuals understand that belief is the foundation of every achievement. Without faith in their ability to succeed, every strategy, action, or resource loses its potency. Faith acts as both compass and fuel. It guides decisions in alignment with long-term vision and propels consistent action through challenges and uncertainty. Belief, when unwavering, creates a lens through which possibility becomes visible. Obstacles become temporary and abundance becomes inevitable. The mindset of faith transforms ordinary efforts into extraordinary outcome. Unwavering faith begins with clarity of purpose. Wealthy individuals are deeply aware of their goals and the impact they intend to create, and they align their belief with that vision. Purpose anchors faith, providing a reference point for decision action and persistence when challenges arise. This clarity ensures that faith does not waver in response to temporary setbacks, external doubt, or unforeseen obstacles. Purpose-driven faith acts like a magnet, attracting resources, guidance, and opportunities that resonate with the vision, reinforcing the trajectory toward wealth and influence. Faith generates resilience. Obstacles, failures, and unexpected circumstances are inevitable in any journey toward wealth, but belief transforms these moments into lessons rather than deterrents. Wealthy individuals view setbacks as temporary external conditions that can be overcome rather than as reflections of personal inadequacy. This perspective allows them to maintain momentum, adapt strategies, and continue taking decisive action even when results are not immediately visible. Faith sustains effort over time, ensuring that temporary challenges do not derail long-term success. The energy of belief shapes perception. Faith filters experience, highlighting opportunities rather than barriers. Wealthy people see potential where others see limitation. They are attuned to solutions, guided by a sense of possibility that attracts both inspiration and action. Belief directs attention toward resources, partnerships, and ideas that support success, while doubt and fear tend to obscure opportunities. By maintaining unwavering faith, individuals align perception with abundance, creating a self-reinforcing loop in which opportunity and action converge toward the desired outcome. Visualization strengthens faith. Wealthy individuals consistently visualize their goals as if already achieved, infusing mental images with emotion, confidence, and conviction. This practice programs the subconscious mind, reinforces belief, and aligns energy with desired outcomes. Visualization makes intangible goals feel tangible, enhancing confidence and inspiring decisive action. The more vividly and frequently one envisions success, the stronger the internal belief system becomes, creating alignment between mind action and the external reality. Faith and visualization work synergistically, transforming abstract desire into concrete results. Faith also influences decision-making. Belief in eventual success allows wealthy individuals to take risks, seize opportunities, and make choices that others might avoid due to fear or uncertainty. With confidence in their vision and abilities, they approach challenges proactively, informed by intuition, knowledge, and preparation. Faith empowers decisive action, reduces hesitation, and ensures that energy is applied constructively rather than wasted in doubt or inaction. Every choice is guided by a conviction that the desired outcome is attainable, enhancing effectiveness and consistency. Consistency amplifies faith. Wealthy people maintain belief even during periods of uncertainty, reinforcing it through daily practices such as affirmation, reflection, prayer, or meditation. Repetition of positive mental patterns strengthens confidence, resilience, and alignment with goals. Faith is a habit cultivated over time, and its consistency ensures that temporary setbacks do not erode belief. By embedding faith into daily routines, wealthy individuals maintain a steady flow of motivation, clarity, and energy directed toward wealth creation. Faith attracts supportive relationships. Belief in oneself and one's vision signals capability, confidence, and determination, naturally drawing like-minded individuals, mentors, and collaborators. Wealthy individuals often cultivate networks that reflect and reinforce their beliefs, creating environments that sustain and amplify their vision. Faith becomes a social magnet, attracting resources, partnerships, and opportunities that might otherwise remain inaccessible. In this way, belief is both internally empowering and externally influential, shaping both personal trajectory and social ecosystem. Action rooted in faith produces compounding results. Belief inspires effort, perseverance, and creative problem-solving, which then generate tangible progress. Success reinforces faith, creating a feedback loop in which belief, action, and results continually amplify one another. The wealthy understand that faith is not passive. It demands corresponding effort, strategic choices, and consistent momentum. Action grounded in belief magnifies potential, turning vision into reality and cultivating a cycle of sustained abundance. Faith transcends external circumstances. Wealthy individuals recognize that challenges, competition, or setbacks do not dictate ultimate outcomes. Belief in possibility combined with preparation, effort, and strategic action enables them to navigate uncertainty with confidence. They maintain focus on long-term objectives rather than being derailed by temporary conditions or external pressures. This ability to remain centered in faith allows for clarity of thought, informed decision-making, and consistent progress even in the face of adversity. Gratitude strengthens belief. Wealthy people cultivate appreciation for both current blessings and anticipated abundance. Gratitude reinforces faith by affirming what is already present and acknowledging the potential of what is coming. It aligns energy with positivity, resilience, and openness, creating fertile conditions for opportunities to manifest. By recognizing abundance in present circumstances, faith is fortified, fostering confidence that desired outcomes will be achieved. Faith also fuels creativity and innovation. Belief in possibility encourages exploration, experimentation, and novel solutions. Wealthy individuals approach challenges with the mindset that solutions exist and can be discovered or created. This confidence enables bold thinking, risk-taking, and the pursuit of unconventional strategies that generate significant advantage. Faith expands the horizon of what is considered possible, catalyzing ingenuity and opening doors to wealth-building opportunities that may be invisible to a doubtful or fear-driven mind. Faith cultivates patience. Wealth creation is rarely instantaneous. It requires sustained effort, strategic decision, and long-term alignment. Belief in eventual success allows wealthy individuals to persevere, maintain momentum, and navigate delays or obstacles without losing confidence. Patience grounded in faith ensures that effort is consistent, decisions are deliberate, and long-term goals remain the guiding force. This enduring perspective enables compounding progress and ensures that temporary setbacks do not derail ultimate achievement. Unwavering faith is the lens through which wealth is realized. The world's most successful individuals recognize that belief shapes reality, aligns action with vision, and attracts final empowering words, resources, opportunities, and support. Faith transforms the intangible into the tangible, the possible into the probable, and the desired into the actual. By cultivating steadfast belief, reinforced through visualization, action, gratitude, and resilience, the wealthy create a magnetic field of abundance that continuously attracts, amplifies, and sustains prosperity. Faith is not merely a mindset. It is the engine that drives opportunity, action, and wealth accumulation, ensuring that vision is realized and abundance flows without limitation. As we reflect on these 14 life-changing habits, one truth becomes undeniable. Wealth is not merely a product of circumstance, luck, or inheritance. It is the conscious creation of mindset, action, and alignment with principles that govern success. Every thought, every decision, every habit either moves you closer to abundance or holds you back. By cultivating clarity, persistence, focus, generosity, faith, and the intelligent application of your time and energy, you are not only building financial prosperity, you are shaping a life of purpose, influence, and fulfillment. Remember, wealth is more than money. It is freedom, impact, growth, and the power to create positive change in your life and the lives of others. It flows to those who think abundantly, act decisively, and remain unwavering in their belief that the life they envision is not only possible, but inevitable. Every habit we've explored today is a stepping stone on that path, and each one compounds to create a force that is unstoppable. Now is the time to commit to move from knowledge to action, to implement these principles with consistency, courage, and clarity. Let go of doubt. Let go of hesitation. Step boldly into the life of abundance that is waiting for you. Your thoughts shape your reality. Your actions build your future. And your faith opens the door to unlimited opportunity. The world does not reward indecision or fear. It rewards those who act with purpose, who dream with vision, and who believe without compromise. Take these 14 habits and make them your daily practice. Let them guide your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions. The life you desire, the wealth you deserve, and the impact you are capable of making is already within your reach. The question is simple. Will you claim it? Will you commit to living, thinking, and acting like the world's wealthiest? The door is open, the path is clear, and the power is in your hands. Step forward with confidence. Embrace these habits and watch as the life of abundance you have always envisioned unfolds before your eyes. Your journey to extraordinary wealth and fulfillment begins now. Take it. Own it.